Hi, it's Emily, Kidlit Book Love. I'm going to talk to you today about how to go shopping for children's literature for gifts for Christmas this year. It is almost December 2015. I'm putting up my Christmas decorations already. And if you have adults in your life who love Kids Lit, if you have nieces, nephews, your children, particularly adolescents or friends, or if you want a unique gift for someone you don't know if they like Kidlit and it's an adult. I love Kidlit as an adult. I'm going to give you some ideas on good gifts depending on what the scenario is. And if you're thinking about getting something special and unique for an adult, whether it's your grandma, your mom, an auntie, someone who you're not sure if they like literature, I have a great suggestion, and everybody loves this. It is to go onto eBay or Amazon, but particularly eBay, or go to a used bookstore and search for a vintage children's book for them. One perfect example would be one of the children's annuals. Here is Blackie's Little Ones Annual, and I did a video on my channel of Blackie's Children's Annuals, where you can see several and a lot of different ones. But if you can go to eBay and search for Blackie's Children's Annual or Children's Annual, you can find these vintage, and this one is from the late 20s, but you can find these vintage, beautiful, and they're very artistic and filled with wonderful color illustrations and stories and poems, and they're just really wonderful. And an elderly or older person that received this it would kind of bring back memories to the old days, and they may love it to read to their grandkids or to look at the illustrations, or just just a neat vintage thing for their shelf or their display. You can't go wrong with buying a vintage book for an adult or a family member if you're not sure if they like Kidlit, but you want to give them something old and antique and special. Look for a children's annual in good condition, a vintage one anywhere from the early 1900s, maybe into the 50s, I think is good. And that was one example. Here's another example for someone you know for sure likes children's literature. The best in children's books, and I have about 15 of these, and they all have different colored spines. You can buy them separately, you can buy them in lots used on eBay. They're vintage, and each one has an accumulation of stories. So this one has Christmas in the Big Woods by Laura Ingalls Wilder, The Nutcracker and the Mouse King, Christmas Every Day, The Three Kings by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, The True Book of Indians by Terry Martini, The Magic Shop. And I have others, and it has Alice in Wonderland, and they have wonderful illustrations, poetry, poems, just a lot of neat stuff. And these traditionally, let me see what year this one is, and each one is a certain volume name. I'm not sure. This one was from the 40s, I think. And in the back, it'll list what stories are in it. So you can get a vintage book collector or someone who likes Kidlit, an adult, a best in children's books. You can get them a set of 3 very easily for $20 or less if you really search on eBay. So that's another idea. I wouldn't buy either of those two that I just mentioned for a child, however. If you want to buy something for a somebody who loves children's literature, whether it's an adolescent, a high school, or an adult, and loves children's literature, I recommend Marguerite Henry's horse books like Stormy or Misty of Chincoteague. This is one of her books, The White Stallion of La Pizza, and a few of her books come in these beautiful gift edition hardbacks with these beautiful covers. And this is really a wonderful story. It has very nice layout, nice topography, nice illustrations. It's a very nice collectible piece. This one, there are a few of her other books that come. I think Stormy comes in this one. It talks about Marguerite Henry here. So anyone that grew up a little bit in the 70s and 80s would definitely remember Misty, which is when I remember it from, but they were written in the 40s. So even someone who grew up in the 50s, 60s would probably remember Marguerite Henry's book. So I would pick up, do a Amazon search for Marguerite Henry hardback, and you can look for this one particularly that I'm showing you, and then it should show you down the page other similars in the series. So this is a great gift idea for anyone you know loves children's literature and takes good care of their books. If you're looking for an idea for an older child, I recommend the Mary Poppins Box Set by P.L. Travers. This I got from Amazon. I covered it in one of my book hauls. And it has 3 of Mary Poppins' books in it. And they're very nice, very clean, very tidy. They have, again, drawings in them. And it's the original stories of Mary Poppins that the later Disney movie was based on. So you can't go wrong. Everybody knows who Mary Poppins is. Obviously, you need to have a 5th grade and up for this. But if you know a child who loves books and is at reading level, early to middle novel reading level or older, I would have loved, I love this. I bought this for myself. But anyone loves literature, but child particularly, I would recommend the Mary Poppins Box Set. If you also have a child who is an avid reader and can read more complicated classic texts, or a literature major, perhaps someone who's an English literature major, I would recommend, I got this from Costco. It's Hans Christian Andersen's Complete Fairy Tales. It was only like $18. I just got it a few weeks ago. Beautiful, has all the fairy tales, Thumbelina, and just hundreds of them. It's a really neat book. Nice gift idea. It's bright, it's pretty, it looked nice on their shelf. Can't go wrong with this in any way. And for another literature major who you want to introduce to kids lit or buy them kids literature, whether it's an adult or a high schooler or a college student, I would recommend also considering children's anthologies, which is different than the children's annuals. Children's anthologies would be more kind of textbooky, but here's an example. This is the World Treasury of Children's Literature. Huge book, and there's so many different ones of these. I went to a used bookstore and bought 7 or 8 children's anthologies, and they're all different, but it has tons and tons of stories in it and poems, and this one even has the Jungle Book in it. It has some classic picture books with a little bit of annotation, and it has Little Bear in it. It has some Japanese fairy tales. It has Goodnight Moon, the original. So it has anywhere from very classic famous children's literature, including poetry, from young child to older child. So you can get a children's treasury that has all kinds of different children's things in it for someone who's studying literature, which is another good gift idea. Also, if you have a Barnes & Noble nearby, I did a video on my channel you can find of Barnes & Noble illustrated classics. They're leather-bound, hardback, bright color. They're $10. Very nice. Check out my video. I show you a whole bunch of them. They have everything from The Secret Garden to Black Beauty to the Jungle Books to Alice to the Wizard of Oz. They're leather, they're bright, and they have the gold pages. They're all illustrated. I have about 10 of them in my collection. Very affordable. You could even get a few of them for somebody. And if you are near a Costco, maybe I don't know if you have Sam's Club, Price Club, but this time of year in the children's book, in the book section at Christmas, you go to the kids section, you can find all kinds of box sets. Like I saw a ton yesterday. They had the Maze Runner sets for adolescents. They had all the Harry Potter books. They had James Patterson, which I showed you in another video, the hardbacks. They had Junie B. Jones, all the Robert Dahl books in one box set. So there are lots of box sets. They're very reasonable for a child reader. Books, you can't go wrong buying books. If you have to go to a Christmas party to your boss and you want to get your boss's daughter a gift, she's 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 years old, can't go wrong with something like that. And if you're an avid kidlit lover, reader, collector like myself, I definitely would go with the vintage book, something unique. Just go on eBay, type in vintage children's book, vintage children's anthology, antique children's book. You can find books you can even search by age from late 1800 to early 1900. You can search in a price range you want. I buy books on there all the time. It's super easy and you can't go wrong. So, of course you can go to Barnes & Noble and we'll just go to Amazon and pick something, but you want it to be a little bit unique or or special. If you have a smaller child, elementary age, I would recommend the Paddington Bear Box Set, which I do a whole review in another video on my channel. You can look at that. It has 3 lovely books in it, and they're little novellas with lots of pictures, but they're actually more longer reading than you would anticipate. So there you go. It's Christmas. Buy books. Everybody loves books. And of course, if you have a small child you're buying for, buy Christmas books. You can buy I have 20, 30, 40 beautiful original, children's picture books from when my kids were young, all the way through their growing up. I saved them all. Beautiful. The art is beautiful. The drawings are beautiful. I still bring them out every year. Go to Barnes & Noble, go to the bookstore, go to Amazon, search by whatever books just came out in Christmas picture books. Buy them some Christmas books. You can't go wrong. All right. Have a happy Christmas. Thanks for watching.